My name is Barry Langford, and I grew up in East St. Louis, Illinois. My mom was always a godly woman, even after my dad became sick and died when I was 11. As a teen, I really didn't think about God. Then one day, just a few years ago, I looked back over my life and I could see that God had faithfully looked over me. That realization, along with a number of childhood memories, inspired this picture I call faith. Growing up, I had 25 to 30 friends, from grade school to through high school. And out of all those people, there's only about 5 or 6 of us left. So many senseless deaths.
Half a blink from tears falling, my fears crawling around me, yet I sleep soundly. I am not afraid of the path God paved. Looking at broken chains, which is proof I was a slave. To the way I was raised, I wasn't taught that I could make it. I was taught to take it, but that cycle needed breaking. Fresh and blessed without a question, walking in New Orleans like a funeral procession.
As I was drawing the red sky, I thought about all of the friends that I've lost to the violence of East St. Louis. Brian Campbell, who was shot and killed along with his wife by their son.
Don't get caught in a trap or caught in a web. Satan's tricks are sneaky and he wants you dead. Just know that God has a plan for you. If you ever get stuck, he'll rescue you. Don't get caught in a trap or caught in a web. Satan's tricks are sneaky and he wants you dead. Just know that God has a plan for you. If you ever
Johnny Ramsey, who was a quiet, really nice guy, and he was a good friend of mine. He was killed along with another guy on the playground of one of the elementary schools in East St. Louis. As I was drawing Satan, I thought back over my life and over the many people that I've grown to know and that I've lost along the way. I can remember when I was about 10 years old, and one of my friends that lived up the street from me, his name was David, and he was over at my house just 2 or 3 days before he was killed. He was mistaken for a gang member. He was walking home from, I'm not exactly sure where he was coming from, but he was on his way home. And another group of boys saw him and stabbed him to death. I remember another time when I was coming from one of the parties, and there was a shootout out in the parking lot. There was a guy that was laying right in front of me that had been shot. He was trying to get up. He still had the gun in his hand, and I could see blood as his heart was beating. That was a really sickening feeling, and it's something I'll never forget. The main thing that made me really decide that I wanted to leave East St. Louis was the fact that one night I remember being with one of my friends, and we were planning to do some things that really would have had me end up in prison or dead. And I thought about that, and I said, it's time for me to get out of here. If you're in one of these cities, whether it be Chicago, LA, Atlanta, I think that the best thing you can do is think about what you're doing, think about where you are in life now, where you want to be, and make a decision to move towards the future. I think that'll be the best decision that you could make. Just sit back and think.